Welcome back, everybody, to the next episode of the Friday Night Fallacy podcast. My name is Fluve. These guys know me as Sluss. Everybody introduce yourselves.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy, Purple Turtle 991.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ron Pablo, and I'm coming back at you today.
And we have a new face here today, boys. Our first guest on the podcast. Who the hell are you?
The first guest, more like the first person to suffer on this show.
All right, listen, buddy. Give us your Twitch plug and then get the fuck out of here.
All right, Twitch plug, twitch.tv/takada. I stream CSGO, Minecraft, and whatever else I can think of when I have the motivation.
Wait. CSGO and Minecraft?
Yeah, man, I'm one of those.
Get off. We don't want you as a guest anymore.
You changed your mind, all right.
No. We're very happy to have you with us, Taka. You're a special guest.
We don't know who this man actually is. He just kind of showed up in my Discord a few years ago, and I just know him as Taka. I know he's not Japanese.
Not yet.
And apparently not a furry.
That is also a fact. I am not a furry, even though most people call me a furry.
Is there anything else we want to know about you, Taka?
I'm an adult. That's it.
Good.
All right,
that's an important piece of information out of the way.
So, speaking of furries, boys, what would your fursona be if you were a furry?
An Apache attack helicopter. I want to be able to rain death from above.
I don't think that's an animal.
Yeah,
it is in my eyes.
Well,
it's a spirit animal.
Yeah, we can identify it to whatever we want. Thank you very much. That's what the plus symbol is.
Oh, you're right. I forgot it's 2021.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can be whatever the hell you want to be.
Thank you.
I don't have an answer to that question. I just asked to see what kind of
start tonight, boys.
I just asked that question to see which one of you fucksticks will give it an answer, and I don't think I actually got an actual answer for that one. So,
Canadian coin.
Just to be clear, this is the first time we're actually recording this on a Friday night, and it's called the Friday Night Fallacy podcast.
Listen.
And we're off to a fucking horrible start, boys. I don't know what we got to do to get the ball rolling, but let's do it.
Listen, I'll tell you what. You know what I could talk about for hours?
Oh, yeah, sure. Tell me.
Fucking women.
Oh, yeah. We touched on that a bit last time. Good thing we brought on Pussy Slayer 999 Taka the Fox here to give us all the insight.
All the insight on how to get women, how to fuck them, and then dump them afterwards.
Like a true man.
Oh, man.
It's truly beautiful.
I could see all the women that are just so eager to listen to this podcast from here on out after that. Oh my god.
The whole 2 women watching the podcast.
I don't think a single woman has listened to this podcast.
No. Actually, there was a woman that listened to this podcast.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
My mom.
No, you just offended them.
Well, that's okay.
No.
By the end of this run, we'll have offended everybody.
Understandable.
Yeah. I think, yeah. So women, right?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Horrible creatures, disgusting animals.
Yeah.
Well, it could be worse.
How could it be worse?
Chicks with dicks.
You don't like traps, Dave?
I prefer dudes with boobs.
Wait a minute.
Well, Dave has boobs.
Listen.
Yeah, they're
no one's
hot.
supposed to know what my physical appearance is, thank you. There's absolutely no reason to talk about my my man tits.
Oh, come on, don't be shy.
I mean, fuck it. I got boobs too. Like, check them out, dude. They're nice. They're nice.
Oh, both of them are flashing us now.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Discord call.
Man, this is what I love about the Discord
That's
call.
only for you.
All right. Okay, all right.
God, this is the weirdest OnlyFans preview I've ever seen.
Dave has an OnlyFans.
Well, now that you mention that, I guess I gotta plug my OnlyFans. So, Papa Spaghetti 991. It's good. It's free for your viewing pleasure.
Why free?
If I'm not mistaken, I'm on there too.
You are. It is entirely memes, and there are videos of me smashing pistachios with my forehead.
That's disgusting.
People gotta pay to see that, though. Like, you can't just hand that out for free.
That's true.
I was hoping I'd get a following, but it never happened. No, I mean, I have like 13 people that follow me.
Even though it's free.
Don't give up hope.
I know.
Don't give up hope.
Well, this is your outlet to get that out there.
Yeah. For all you listening out there, if you want to see me smack my head off a table for other people's enjoyment, there you go.
Beautiful. So I think it's funny. Yeah, it's funny how we've brought this. We've tried segueing into this several times now. The problem is nobody wants to talk about it.
I'm going to try this one more fucking time, boys. And if nobody starts with a story about their awkward nature or fun nature or any type of experience with women, I'm going to talk about the time I almost hit on a dead girl.
What are women?
I'm not sure.
What are women?
Me neither.
Well, women are ideas, like, for example, big titty. But no. See, there's a difference, because I don't consider a big titty goth GF an object. I consider that to be an idea.
No, that's an object. Once you possess it, you basically achieved immortality.
Yeah, he's got a point.
Like, you can't get any better than
objects.
Like, so that's achieving greatness. That's like winning the Nobel Peace Prize right there.
So it's like the Crystal Skull, and you're Indiana Jones.
Exactly. It's like finding like picture it. You're 2011. You find a Wii under your Christmas tree. That peak level of happiness right there.
Yeah, and I hate that you got the year spot on, because that was the exact year that I got a Wii too. Oh my god,
nostalgia.
I remember getting a Wii. I also remember when I almost hit on a dead girl, which I'm going to tell that story because I've tried doing this segue at least 8 times and we haven't followed it.
No, just bite the bullet.
Big titty goth GFs aside. So, once upon a time, excuse me, I was a young man. And this actually goes back to when I was 13 years old. And young Ron simply wanted a companion. He wanted a girl that would just laugh with him and not care about his prepubescent girly ass voice, or the fact that he had a 4'10" stature at 13 years old. Young Ron simply wanted a lady. So I'm at a water park, and that's where you meet all women at the water park.
At a boy.
All right.
Yeah, I went with a group. I went with a group of friends of mine, and we were all just a bunch of young, dumb. How do you put it? Young, dumb, and hormonal teenagers. So
that's usually how these stories start.
Yeah. So we go to this water park, and they're like, it's like a week after my birthday. My mom usually like just sent us to like an amusement park just to get rid of us for a day. And so we go and we're exploring, and we keep running into just different girls, and we're like, oh, yo, like, go get this. Or we see like a fat girl, and this is really bad, but like we saw a fat girl, and like my one friend goes, hey, Austin, there's your future woman right there.
Future catch right there.
Yeah, and I was like, please don't ever say that again, and stop picking on fat women. Shout out to all the fat women out there. And so anyway, and so we run into this girl, and this girl is like kind of cool, and I didn't expect to actually end up talking to her, but I did, and I became friends with her, longtime friends for several years actually. And one day I'm like, 4 years down the road, I'm like, man, I still haven't had a fucking companion yet. And so, like, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to the one place that I always go to search up companions. Facebook, right? Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you go, all right? Even if it's not where you go.
I can't relate to that one, unfortunately. I've never gone to Facebook looking for bitches.
Actually, the same girl that I met at this water park, I poked on Facebook, like, 3,300 times, but that doesn't matter. So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was a long stretch, but we're not going to discuss that. So this girl that I met at the water park is actually not the girl.
Anyone say obsessed?
No. It's a back and forth thing. She did it back to me. I did it back to her. It kept going. So no, for real. And
air quotes from Dave.
Yeah, air quotes. But so this girl that I met at the water park, she had a few friends. And you know, I friended most of them on Facebook, and there were even some that I didn't even meet that just kind of friended me because I knew her. Well, I'm scrolling through and I'm like just looking, and somehow this girl's name pops up, and I'm like, okay, she's a cutie. And I go on her profile and I'm like, well, there's not many pictures that are posted, but like, I mean, seems cute or whatever. And so I was like, all right. I scrolled through her profile a little bit, and then I was like, okay, this area of the state that we were in was exactly where this girl that I met at the water park was from. And I was like, oh, she's friends with this chick. And so I text this girl. I'm like, hey, how's it going? And she's like, oh, not too bad. How about yourself? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So when we met at that water park, do you remember if your friend, insert dead girl, was there? And I didn't know she was dead. Like, it actually turns out. So, like, I said that, got no response. And I was like, normally this girl responds to me, especially because she responded to me, like, within 5 minutes. But I was like, whatever. I shook it off. So then, like, 9 months down the road, it's like 2 a.m. and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, man, why didn't she text me back that day? And so I go, check out this girl's profile, and I'm like, I don't see anything on here. Like, there's not much. There hasn't been anything on here in a while, actually. And then I go to this chick that I met at the water park's profile, and her background photo is their entire girls' soccer team wearing this chick's last name and number on all their jerseys on the bench. And I went, oh, that looks like a memorial thing.
Oh,
so I go,
Christmas.
and I Google the girl's name and the area. Sure as shit, first article that pops up, blank, dies in car crash.
That I thought was going to be an interesting story, and it's actually very sad.
Yeah. So I wanted to. That's why I kind of wanted to save this, but see, like you already got me started on it. So immediately I'm like, oh, that's why I didn't get a text back. And so no, hold on, let me finish real quick.
Just I one comment. You're a dirty necrophiliac.
No. I didn't try sliding in her DMs. After I didn't get a response, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna say nothing. And then when I found out that she died, I texted that girl and I was like, oh my God, I am so sorry that I tried doing that to you. I know it was 9 months ago, but like, I'm so sorry. I did not know that she had passed away, and I'm so sorry for your loss. And she was like, no, it's okay. I understand. We all make mistakes sometimes. And from
You're
there
still
on
a dirty
out,
necrophiliac. It probably gave you a stiffy.
from there on out, no, actually, I don't think I've ever had my cock recede into my body before until that point, but that was the first time.
What, do you not experience winter?
Well, no. It always goes even with like the zero marker. You know what I'm saying? Like the midfield. You know, like it's not in, it's not out. You know, it's not in the opponent's territory. It's not in any outside territory.
It's just the boys. You don't have to lie to us.
Yeah, I'm realizing that this is going to be a very educational podcast tonight.
Yeah,
this is going to be a lot of examples of what you should not do under any circumstances.
Yeah, like try to fuck a dead bitch.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to fuck. I was still looking for a girlfriend at the time. I wasn't that hormonally charged, all right?
Now you say that.
Yeah.
No, trust me. I didn't start jerking off until a year later.
Taga, do you have any
and I'm sure
stories?
that girl was what came up.
If I have any stories, oh god.
Yeah. If not, I can share. I got something not nearly as serious as Austin's story. However, it would still be another example as how not to fuck up like I did.
Well, okay, so let me start this by saying, flirting,
right?
It's good if you're attractive. It's harassment if you're ugly as shit.
I'm sure many men in America have that issue.
The goddamn double standards in this country.
I have that issue
they don't
all
understand
the time.
that. If you let's say you have a nice haircut as the guy with like tons of money, and then you're dead broke in a trailer park. Of course they're gonna go for the nice haircut with the 6-figure salary in the 30-story house. What do you have? You have a can of beans just sitting by your bed, half open.
Wait, where is this going? Where's the story going?
I mean, he also got an 8-inch cock. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Nah, the one with the money always has a little ween. You know what I'm saying? He's been too big of a pussy. You know, never asking out women. Speaking of asking out women, I've only asked out one person in my entire life. The rest, they've only asked me. I am not a Chad, I swear.
Oh.
How did that happen?
Okay, so let me start off by saying like my first relationship, which was back in like middle school. Like,
right?
That was one of the weirdest times of my life, because the story behind that was I was in choir. I'm a singer boy. Ooh. Not the gay kind, but like the well, I just wanted
if you were pulling bitches in choir, that's a pretty something to be proud of. Jesus Christ, that's an accomplishment. You should deserve a plaque for that one.
So you're the cuck kind.
No,
if he's pulling bitches through choir, Dave, fucking choir. Think about that for a second.
He's making them bitches hit the high notes.
I mean, I got a bitch at band camp once, but that's not nearly as impressive.
Did you shove a flute up your ass?
No.
That's not choir day.
He said band camp.
I did say band camp.
Okay, alright. Yeah. But like the thing is like I didn't think much of it because I was crushing on a different girl. But like her friend walked up to me one day and was like, "Hey, I think you're pretty cool. Let's chat more." I'm like, "Okay." So this is back when I didn't have a phone. So the cringy way, putting that shit on an email and using Google Hangouts, because I was an educated child. So
asking a girl out via email and Google Hangouts. Yeah. I've never heard that one before in my life.
Oh, trust me, it's not the first time.
What? Wait, you've used this more than once?
All throughout the entirety of middle school and a little bit of high school because I couldn't afford a phone.
Alright, number 2. Get out. Leave. Don't ever come on this podcast again. No, I'm sorry.
You wanted stories, I'll give you stories.
Yeah, it's funny. No. Continue. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt like that.
Alright.
Go ahead.
Alright. So then a few weeks go by and then I'm like, alright, this girl is pretty alright. And so then like it was heading towards like some school dance or some shit that I could care less about because I'm an antisocial fuck and I'd rather stay home. So during that she was like, you want to hang out? And I was like, to do what? And she was like, oh, the school dance is coming up. I'm like, alright, sure. So we go. And then like that was the first time like prepubescent me was like, this shit's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully it's not the first time I experienced or the last time. So then,
is that it?
No, because the story still goes on. I had a burp. That's why. So like the story goes on is like after the dance, like we went on a walk because it was still like midday, and then like after a little bit, I'm like reflecting on my life because we were in the woods, and if you can use context clues and being a smart child or an adult, whichever, She got some kind of wood, if you know what I'm saying. But that was besides the point.
But Jesus Christ.
No, but the thing
I'm not gonna lie, I'm disappointed you didn't do it in the back of your mom's Suburban.
God, why would I? The woods is so much more relaxing. If I'm trying to bust a nut, I want birds chirping in my ear.
I was gonna say, when you were getting to the point where I was like, yeah, I was reflecting on life in the woods, my brain immediately went to a certain kind of clarity, if you know what I'm talking about.
I mean, yeah, it pretty much was. I was like the first time I ever experienced it, and then I'm thinking, why did I do this?
The cosmos are frowning upon me.
No, because she sucked at it. I mean, granted, I wasn't any better, but she was like actual like poo poo doo doo at it. Like
you were children. What do you expect,
bro? This was at a point in time where porn was the main reason I wanted to do that shit. I was like, this shit looks fucking like fun, and I want to try it. Like I'm over here thinking I'm about to pull like the Nut Buster 3000 on this bitch. No, all I got was a shitty hand job and just like a few kisses on my dick, and that's about it.
Nice.
But the thing was, like, we dated more. She was fucking insane. Cause like
bitches do be tripping.
No, because like she figured out my house phone number for some goddamn reason. And then, like, out of 2 in the morning, all I hear is my house phone going off. And then I'm thinking, that better not be who I think it fucking is. So then I ignore it. My parents are like, go answer the goddamn phone right now, you fucking failure. I'm like, oh shit. So like, I get up, and I'm like, I'm still half asleep. And then, like, I answer the phone, I was like, who is this? And she's like, I miss you. I'm like, it's fucking 2 a.m. Don't you have shit to do? And she's like, yeah, I do, but I miss you. It's like, all right, congratulations. Let me sleep. And then I hung up. Not even 2 minutes later, she called again. And she was like, what was that for? I'm like, I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. Back when I actually slept.
I love how the other 3 of us sitting here right now have like no other input except for all 3 of us like pogging into our webcams right now, just listening to this story.
Dude. What the fuck?
Oh, okay. This is like one of like 3 insane bitches.
Oh, boy.
I got a good one.
Oh, you do, Dave. Now,
yeah.
Now that the juices are flowing.
There we go.
Q, middle school. Back when I had hair that went almost below my chin. Not a good time. So, my best friend was like, hey, this girl really likes you. You should go out with her. You'd be really happy. No, she's fucking gross. No, dude, I'd go out with her. She's really attractive. I don't like her. This goes on for the next 2 hours. And I'm like, okay, fine, I will talk to her. 20 minutes later, we are now dating through a text message.
Yeah, as it happens in middle school, it's like it's not really so in middle school for me, it was like, you know, more of like a title than an actual thing you had to follow through with.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, want a date? Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, we're a thing now. And then you just talk to each other between classes and then like never see each other ever again. Like that was my experience at least.
Oh, don't worry. It's good. So then he's telling me what to say. And like 15 minutes, 20 minutes after we start dating, he's like, you should tell her you love her. I was like, no. The fuck?
Red flag.
Right,
red flag. Red flag.
No,
red
the first red flag is your friend telling you to do shit, because that's never a good thing.
It gets better. Just don't worry. So, he's like, no, girls love it when you do that. It shows you care. I'm like, but no, just do it. It's like, okay, fine, whatever the fuck you say. So I did it. And we go on. We actually saw each other pretty frequently because we were in all the same classes. And then, fast forward a little bit, my parents had the bright idea of, hey, you should invite her to Thanksgiving dinner. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And they basically said, do it, or we're not going to be very happy with you.
They're pulling out the big guns, Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So I unfortunately had to invite this girl to fucking Thanksgiving dinner. Boy,
that must have been a scarring experience for both of you. I can only imagine.
Oh yeah, it was awful because the majority of my family is the Bible is law and they would fuck it.
Right.
Love my family dearly, but I am not that religious.
Oh, trust me, if we circle back to this at some point, You already know where I'm going, but I've got some stories involved in that.
We'll mark that one in the scripting area.
This woman was not very religious. Now, fast forward a little bit. Eventually, it came out. She tried to give my friend who encouraged me to date her a hand job in the middle of class.
Hey, what?
In 8th period science class, she tried to give him a fucking handy.
A fucking raw handy?
Yeah.
In school?
Yeah.
I mean,
and he was like, bro, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Not only are you dating my best friend, we're in fucking school. Well, I guess that was her way of trying to get us to break up. I don't fucking know. But fast forward like 3 weeks, we're done. And not long after we break up, my friend's like, bro, why the fuck did you date her? Not only is she a bitch, she's fucking ugly. And I sit there, pause for a solid 5 minutes, and I'm like, you don't remember? No. You badgered me for hours to go and talk to her and date her. You made me date her. You took my phone and sent messages. And he just smiles and starts laughing. Oh yeah, I did do that. So about 4 months of being with that crazy fuck was because of him. And he's like, oh yeah, why'd you do that? I was in awe.
What a fucking legend.
It was a good time. Yeah. I also didn't get my hoodie back from the bitch for like 3 more months, and when I got it back, it smelled like she threw it in the trash can and shook it around.
Don't even get me started on giving hoodies to bitches. I'm done with that shit.
Bro, I've lost way too many hoodies for that. Like, I actually had like
lost
a memorial.
any hoodies, but
my last relationship, I told her, you give me all my shit back, I do not fucking care.
Yeah.
And I got it all back. It was in like 5 garbage bags, but I got it back.
How much? Jesus Christ.
Almost every time she came over my house, she'd take a fucking shirt, a pair of sweatpants, a pair of shorts, a hoodie, fucking something. And I got 3 or 4 fucking garbage bags, contractor kind, full of my fucking clothes. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you had so much of my shit.
Could have sold that.
Sticky hands.
Wow. The best part about it was I was with my one friend, right, who happens to be a female, and then she looks at me and she's like, who's that? She gets all cocky and I'm like, it's my friend from school. Is there a problem here? Why the fuck would you bring her here? And I was like, we're not together. Why does this matter? I'm allowed to have friends, you know. We're not dating. You can't control any part of my life. Right. And she just kind of stormed back into her house. And I was like, okay, goodbye.
Which story do I want to tell? Which story do I want to tell? Do you want the example of how I fucked up, or the quick story on how I fucked up and why you should not do what I did in that situation, or the one of the crazy women I have had the pleasure of being with at one point in my life?
I love crazy women's stories, so please hit me with that shit right now so I can feel better about my life choices.
We talked about Bible thumpers, okay? Dave's family. Listen, I know Dave's family. They're good people.
Yep.
They are nothing compared to this chick I was with in high school.
Oh.
Now, I met her through like outside of school activities. None of the girls in my school wanted anything to do with me. Period. I don't know what it was.
It's okay. I would have fucked you real good.
Yeah, maybe it was the kids I hung out with and called my friends because they were a couple of odd ducks, and it got even worse after high school. But
don't even get me started.
So where am I going with this? Yeah. So I met this girl who goes to a different school outside of school. And something happens, we start hitting it off or whatever, and it's like, okay, things are going along nice here. First of all, she was very expensive. Like, every time we did shit, I paid for it every single time. Which,
that's like, women for you, you stupid fuck.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I mean, the last girl I was with, it was more of like a 50-50 thing. It was kind of cool. But, like, you know, junior in high school... What?
We both know why it was 50-50.
You've lost me on this one.
50% of the time she gave you hand jobs, and 50% of the time she blew you.
We're not going to say anything here, but...
Oh, okay. Yeah. I understand.
All right, inside joke aside, keep going with the story.
Yeah. So, you know, eventually, things start progressing. You know, we get more comfortable with each other. Problem is, Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior.
Oh my God, look, they're knocking on my door now.
So there was a point where, like, it went from, like, yeah, we're hanging out and talking, to, like, escalation, and then plateau. Like, it depends. I've heard a few different systems for, like, the bases, you know? So I could have been stuck in limbo between, like, second base and shortstop, depending on which system you're looking at. And I just stuck there. Eventually, actually, she then broke up with me out of the blue. And I think it was because Jesus Christ was our Lord and Savior.
They y'all held hands before marriage.
Yeah. Although she also, at one point, like, you ever seen the video on YouTube, Fuck Me in the Ass Because I Love Jesus?
I was actually just about to say that.
She sent me that video. Because
I love Jesus.
No,
and
she's
didn't. Like, yes, she did.
Oh, she's in the butt stuff. All right.
She
sending hints.
I spent weeks racking my brain on if that was a hint or if she just generally thought it was funny. I could not tell. But I'm like, that's fucking nasty, dude.
Hey, Purple Turtle 991. How's anal?
What?
Listen, that shit's fun, okay? Fuck off. Use a condom. You don't have to worry about the dirty shit, and you also don't have to worry about fucking pregnancy.
Okay, all right. Moving on, please.
No. Now I gotta share a story.
Oh, no.
So, when I was in high school, there was one of my friends, right, was with this chick, and, you know, they did whatever the fuck they wanted to, right? Like, his parents had a house in the middle of nowhere, and he had a key, so they would go there and do crazy stuff. Like, they would drink, they would do drugs, insane shit.
Hell yeah,
and
drugs.
Apparently, they didn't realize what contraception was. And so, in their minds, the only way to prevent pregnancy for sure was to do butt stuff.
Oh, no. No.
Stuff, motherfuckers.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All the time.
Oh. Oh no.
When I learned that, I laughed hysterically in his face.
I'm just not going to comment on this.
Fuck.
No one deserves to comment on that. It's just shock value.
Yeah. All right, so I think Taco was trying to tell a story for like 20 minutes. So you got the floor, my guy.
Yeah, back to crazy women. All right. So this one was like freshman year during high school, but the story leading behind it was fucking stupid. So, me being incredibly desperate because I'm like, fuck, I want to get laid. I was like, I'll take any bitch, even a fat chick, like just something. No offense.
Ooh,
to
you're
fat
a chubby
women.
chaser, I see.
Hey.
Cushion for the pushing, buddy.
And Taka blue hair nose ring the works.
Blue hair nose ring, exactly.
Yeah, the works. The tumblers.
Nah,
Tumblr
she didn't have
girls.
blue hair at the moment. She was overly, I'll say alternative.
Love handles.
No, she was skinny, but she was like very,
You could just say she had 18
saturated.
piercings.
very, very heavily saturated in like, you know, the hardcore death
Skaters.
shit.
No, past skaters. Worse than skaters.
Yes,
Did
worse
she
than-
have gauges that you could shove your entire fist into?
No, like the thing was, like, okay, so we dated for like less than a month. Why? Because I was like, yeah, this is a no for me, chief. Like, okay, so I don't know how many people know this, but like the phrase roast beef. If you,
No,
yeah,
no,
glad somebody caught on to it.
no.
Oh no.
Oh, that one went over my head,
Oh.
and then it came back, and I got it now.
Smacked you right in the forehead. And like,
For those who aren't aware, please explain.
for those
No.
who aren't aware,
No.
roast beef is like, it's like, okay, so picture a woman,
No.
you know, a woman's pussy, as
Lately,
the French would say, but like having really flappy bits, like you can like smack them around and they like dangle and jiggle, like you play with your earlobe on from time to time. like it's that kind of shit right there.
Did it look like an Arby's sandwich?
Oh my god, it was like a quadruple stack Arby's sandwich.
Oh, I worked at Arby's. I know what a quadruple stack Arby's sandwich looks like.
She had the meat, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Did the smell match the appearance?
The smell was surprisingly pleasant. It was just the fact that it looked so disgusting.
guys, I'm gonna have to start recording like our faces for these
Pause,
podcasts because
pause,
this
Pause.
the
Time out.
expressions-
Time out. Full
All right.
timeout. Full timeout. You said
technical foul.
You said the roast beef sandwich smelled pleasant.
It was like, okay. It wasn't pleasant, but it was manageable.
It was a manageable spell.
Because I have fucked plenty of bitches whose puss smelled like raw ass chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about it. You're about to go to town, you know, and then just out of nowhere, you just catch a whiff of like raw chicken soup, and you're like,
you get,
and then she's like, "What's wrong?" It's like, "Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it."
When you're about to go in there and your tongue is inches away, and you just get hit with that
stench.
That stank. It's not even like, it's not describable, but like basically in the science world, it's a combination of micturition particles and seminal and vaginal fluids that kind of just mix into one goop and emanate a smell unlike any other.
Like a wise man once said, morning pussy is dangerous because it's been marinating all night.
I know exactly what you're fucking referencing.
Oh my god.
I don't even know if we can post this back to my story. Podcast.
So like, this bitch was insane. Cause like she brought Ouija boards to school, like after school. And then I'm thinking, how do you not have like any kind of shame to bring Ouija boards and then ask everybody to, you know, do shit? She was in the pet play. She was in like, you know, that kind of little shit. I'm thinking,
Jesus Christ.
I'm like, I dodged a bullet. I dodged like a minigun unloading bullets. Cause like, it was god awful.
Should we change gears into a more lighthearted story?
I would love to.
More lighthearted story. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So remember I said I wanted to talk about this time where I goofed?
Mm-hmm.
Hit me.
Well, picture this. Summer after my senior year of high school, just graduated, my buddies and I take our yearly trip to the beach for about a week. Like every summer, me and a few guys go down to the shore, spend a whole week there. It's a blast. Now,
making sure your lettuce is al dente.
Exactly. That's so many inside jokes in this episode that no one's gonna understand. But the lettuce was cooked al dente. Now, when I was in high school, my buddies and I thought we were super cool. We were like really into music. So like me and like 3 other guys all knew how to play like guitar, drum. Like we were multi-talented. Like I was able to play guitar, drums, piano, bass,
and
guitar.
Cajon.
Okay, leave some pussy for the rest of us.
Well, that was the goal. It never got anything out of that, unfortunately. But in a way to try and further those efforts on that front, we would take our instruments down to the boardwalk at the beach at night, and we'd set up and we'd start doing like street performance. So we did this a couple nights, and then a bunch of guys had to go home like early. So the one night it was just me and this one kid. Right after everyone else left, it was just the 2 of us left over. So he had my cajon, which if you don't know what a cajon is, it's like a wooden box drum. It's so you can make like a few different sounds with it, like a bass if you hit like toward the bottom of it, snare if you hit toward the top. You can hit the sides of it. I built it myself actually in my garage with like some spare wood because I was broke and I didn't want to pay $150 for a brand new instrument. Mm-hmm. So I have a guitar and he has my cajon, and we're walking actually back from after playing for like an hour and a half. And this girl gets out of her car in the parking lot. Like, a pretty attractive looking girl, like blonde hair, tall, thin. So pretty cute. She was by herself, which was kind of odd looking back, but she gets out of the car, looks at us walking back. We walk right past her. She doesn't say a word. And then she just yells at us, "Hey!" And I turn around and I'm like, "What?" She's like,
"Who the fuck?
Are you guys in a band?" And my response, because
you could say that.
So my response thinking back was actually pretty spot on, because like I doubled down on like the confidence, which I did not have any of at the time, so that was very out of character for me. So like I just snapped back at her like, "No, we don't have a band. It's some real underground shit."
So wait, you're trying to tell me you're not a part of Jump Off?
No.
Bro, you're not about a D12. Don't
Dave,
talk to
stop
me.
it with the jokes that nobody understands. Now I have to explain Jump Off real quick. So side note, okay, we're taking a detour from where we were before. At that beach area, there's this group that there's a billboard for that every time we're driving in is this band that's playing called Jump Off. And we think it's the most hysterical thing because it's just a sign that says Jump Off. And then sometimes there's the guy who's playing after them, and it's like Chris something. And so it's like Jump Off Chris is what the band says, is what the sign says. So we just think it's hysterical. Anyway, shitty joke explained. Back to the story. So I snap back at this chick and I'm like, yeah, we don't have a band, but it's some real underground shit. And she's like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. And so like, I think we say a couple more things back and forth, like literally yelling at each other from across the parking lot.
Why don't you just walk closer, like, normal people?
Yes, well, because I didn't think it was going to be a long conversation. So I get into my truck, and we pack up the instruments and leave. And as I'm pulling out, she runs in front of the truck.
What?
Yes. So I have to stop. And then she walks over to my window, so I roll down the window. And she's like, she looks at me and she motions for me to like lean over. So like I lean my head out the window and she whispers in my ear, "What's your snap?" So I'm like, oh shit. This random chick is asking me for my Snapchat. It's like 10:30 at night. I mean, this could be something interesting. So now I'm panicking hardcore at the moment because I've been coming up with random things to say to this woman on the fly. As a socially awkward kid out of high school. And my dumbass brain responds to her, like, almost immediately. Now, she goes, okay, and then she walks away. So as we're pulling out of the parking lot, I look at my buddy and I'm like, I don't think I gave her the right thing. I really don't. So I look at my Snapchat and I'm like, no. I did not give her the right handle. I gave her my username for my Instagram.
So that stupid was fuck.
The biggest face palm of my life. Because poor girl was probably trying to look me up and couldn't find me. And meanwhile, I realize I've done this and I've already left the parking lot. And there's like pay. It's like you have to pay to get into the parking lot. So it's not like I'm going to turn around, pay, get back, try to find this girl and be like, yeah, hey, I fucked up. So at that point, the other guys are on the road, so I have to call them because I'm like, listen, I have to share this experience with somebody. I gotta get this guilt off my chest in one way, shape, or form. So I call the guys that are on the road on speakerphone. I'm like, hey guys, I just fucked up. And they're like, oh god, what did he do? Did he crash the car? Did he hurt somebody?
He ran over a kid.
Yeah. And so I explain to them, and they just start laughing hysterically, like, what a fucking idiot.
I got a story similar like that.
Oh, really?
So, my senior year, I went to Disney with the band.
Oh, yeah, I know this story.
Ooh.
Band camp.
This isn't about band camp. Listen, we don't talk about band camp.
The man with the magic
fingers. I could talk about band camp.
So, I'm a fucking nerd, and I can solve a shit ton of Rubik's Cubes, because why the fuck not?
I also did that in high school. I thought I was tough shit for it.
In case you can't tell, my erection is so fucking large just hearing him talk about Rubik's Cubes.
Are we about to do some dick dingers, Austin?
Oh, dick dingers, yeah!
We gotta mention it at least once every episode.
I'm so happy you brought that up, dude. I'm sorry, continue, Mr. Turtle.
Anyway, I can solve this one shaped like a pyramid, right? And I could solve it in about 17 seconds. So I'd walk up to these bitches. Hottest ones I could find, a group of 2 or more. Make sure they're way out of my league. I'd be like, hey ladies, I got a proposition for you. If you mix this up, and I can solve it in less than 30 seconds, I get your numbers. Cool beans. I got 13 numbers that day. Now, let's fast forward to my senior week. I went to this fucking ski resort with a water park in Virginia. Because I'm a fucking weird kid and I didn't go to fucking Ocean City like a dumbass. Anyway. So, I'm sitting there. And I'm in the water park and there's this fucking smoking hot lifeguard. Absolutely stunning. Big tits, big ass. Not too tall. Just short, perfect.
Oh, natural floaties, I see. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Long blonde hair, blue eyes. She is absolutely fucking stunning. And I'm sitting there. heart pounding. I'm like, okay, fuck it, let's do this. Walk up there, do the whole spiel, like, hey, mix this up, I solve it, I get your number, blah, 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 blah. I go up there, and I failed. I didn't solve it, because I guess I was nervous because she was hot as fuck. But that's besides the point. She seemed super fucking interested, and she was like, wow, this guy actually had the confidence to walk up to me and do this. Fuck it, hell yeah.
Confidence is key, David. That's what these YouTube videos I keep watching about how to get women.
That's a lie.
Telling me.
Anyway,
all the videos, if you look up how to get a girlfriend, because I'm sure that when you're a horny teenager, you've watched a couple of those. All they say is, be confident. Anyway,
I wasn't finished. Anyway, so I failed, right? You know, I probably could have been like, hey, even though I failed, can I still get your snap, or can I still get your number? I just walked away and put my head down in defeat. And then I'm sitting in this chair looking at her for about 15 minutes, and I'm like, what the fuck did I just do? She was interested. I could have gotten her number or some form of way to contact her, but no. My dumbass just walked away.
Oh, well, it's not like you had 13 other numbers that day. For sure.
That wasn't when I was in Florida, you fuck. I was in Virginia.
No, it's different, man. It's different.
Different times.
When you got that
different time,
that one that gets away is the one that'll haunt you the most.
And I do. I think about that every now and again. I'm like, why did I do that?
That's
a dumb piece of shit. It's not depressing. It's embarrassing.
I mean, it's kind of
and it's for everybody else to laugh at.
Actually, talking about senior week kind of reminds me.
Oh no!
I had no. It's a story, and it might even get you excited for a little bit. So, I go with a couple friends down to this city where most people in our region usually go to for senior week. And obviously we're a bunch of losers. We don't drink, we don't smoke, we don't do any of that stuff at that time. Keyword there, at that time. So we're just kind of like walking the boardwalk and doing dumb shit. And like at some point in time, two of my friends get shit on by seagulls, and so we have to pause and they go and clean themselves up in the bathrooms. So we're just sitting there and I'm like, fuck it, like, it's night. I'm on a boardwalk. I'm gonna go check out the beach. So I go and I'm walking on the beach, or I'm walking towards the ocean, and I'm like, man, this is like a really like scenic like night. And I'm walking and I look in the lifeguard tower, and there's just some person sitting up there, and I'm like, what the fuck? Who the fuck's sitting up in a lifeguard tower? It's like 10:30 at night, and I'm like, do. I wander over there, and I'm like, I glanced to my left or whatever, because that's what side I passed on, and I was like, okay, she's kind of cute. But then I was like, I'm not going to be a creep and just stand here and stare at her. So whatever, I go walk up to the ocean, act like I'm not interested in the smoking hot babe that's sitting in the lifeguard chair. I do my rounds, and then like a few minutes go by and I go walk up to the lifeguard tower. I'm like, hey, are you a lifeguard? And she was like, what? And I was like, oh, she got an accent? And so I'm like, are you a lifeguard? And she was like, no, I'm just here to hang out and stuff. And she's telling me like she's just there, just to be on the beach and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, word. And I talked to her for a little bit, and I'm actually like, I'm like, I get to know her.
The big titties?
She had average titties. They were all right, but like she was a very attractive woman. And I come to find out she's part Swedish and part Serbian. Now, if you don't know what either of those are, that's a smoking hot fucking combo right there. And I was staring it right in the fucking blue/purple eyes. I swear to God, this chick's eyes were purple. I don't know how the fuck I figured that out. But I'm still like, I hit puberty very late, so I was still kind of prepubescent at this point in time. So I was awkward as shit. But I was like somehow keeping up this conversation, just talking to her. I'm like, so what you listening to? She had earbuds in. She's telling me all that jazz, whatever. We go our separate ways. Next day, I go and I hop on the bus, and I don't even remember where I hopped on the bus at. I think we were going back to our place that we were staying at because it was hella far from the boardwalk. I hop on this bus, and I'm going to walk towards the back with the rest of my friends, and an arm just reaches out and grabs me by my arm, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I go and I look, and it's the same chick.
Damn.
Her name's Elizabeth, right? And she pulls me over and she's like, "Hi," and I'm like, in such shock. I'm like, "Hey," and she's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I'm like, I just and I sat there stammering for like 10 minutes, and finally I was like, "Oh, I just got down to the boardwalk with my friends. How about you?" And she was, we just had another conversation, and I go and I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna go sit with my friends," and I go and I sit with my friends, and then I'm like, I keep glancing over at this girl. I'm like, man, I should really go talk to her more. We're at least half a mile from where our stop is. This girl gets off the bus. And I turn to all my friends and I go, "All right, I'll see you back at the place." And I run off the bus. And I'm like, looking at, and somehow she just disappeared like a ghost, like as soon as she hopped off the bus. And I was like, "Where the fuck is she?" And I'm like, "Don't tell me I fucking lost her," like, because a bunch of people got off. And then finally I look, and she went in the complete opposite direction, and I was like, "Oh!" And then I like kind of like jog, or I trot, and I catch up to her, and I'm like, "Hey!" And she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I wanted to talk to you a little bit." And so like I walk her home and stuff like that, and we actually like have like a really nice conversation because it's like a decent walk. Like I didn't expect her to be that far from the bus stop, but whatever. And so like I'm talking to her, and she's like, like, "It's really cool seeing you a second time." And I was like, "Yeah, it was nice seeing you too." And she was like, 2 times is nice, but maybe 3 times, maybe it's destiny. And when I tell you that my little simping ass, desperate ass, prepubescent ass heart just exploded out of my chest, I fucking shot through the ceiling. I had to contain myself so fucking hard. I was like, "Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow." She gets into her house, and I'm walking down the street, no lie, and I go, "Fuck yeah!" And I just yell at the top of my lungs, and I'm like so stoked for no reason at all. And I actually, we had a friend that was supposed to take us home from this trip, because it was like 4.5 hours from where we live. And he bailed. He left because apparently we bullied him, which we didn't. He was just a little bitch. But anywho, a parent came down to pick us up, and this parent was really cool. And I was talking to her. I was like, "Yeah, man, I talked to this girl twice now, and like, I kind of have a little bit of a crush on her. Like, I want to be able to talk to her again." And she's like, "All right." So she stays up with me until 1 a.m. writing this like corny ass note, and I'm like, "All right, like, like whatever. Like, it was nice talking to you, yada yada." And I'm like, "All right. I remember where she lived at. I just want to leave this note at the door." And I went. I left the note at the door. I held it the whole trip, the whole convoy. We had like 3 different cars. And she dropped me off there. I walked up to the door, slid the note under the door, and I was like, "Well, hopefully I'll hear from her one day." And here we are, 5 years later. And I'm still waiting on that email.
Ooh. Well, listen.
Did you try an email too?
Up until that point, that is the most wholesome story I've ever heard in my entire life.
Because she told me when she was on the beach that she didn't have a working phone. And I was like, all right, well, everybody's got to have a working email. You need one to, like, get a job, don't you? Like, and she said she was working at that time. So I was like, all right, here's my email. Like, if she doesn't reach me by email, I don't care. And so, I waited, nothing. And then, like I said, here we are 5 years later. No Serbian Swedish girl. Although if she is out here listening to this, hey, I miss you. All right, I'm done simping now.
Yeah. I got one more quick beach story, and then we'll head over to Taka because he hasn't talked in a while.
Oh,
so,
God.
Like I said, the boys and I take these beach trips every summer. Now, the one summer, it was only like 3 or 4 of us. And the one kid, you guys all know who he is. He's a big man, okay? we just wanted to get our buddy a little love. We just wanted him to find that one special someone.
Oh, no.
And we figured, hey, the beach is the best place to do this. So we're like, listen, bud, we're going to set you up with a Tinder account. Don't worry, we're going to make it for you. All you have to do is swipe.
Oh.
So he's like, all right, I mean, I guess so. Like, why not? We're alone for a week with no supervision. let's go buck wild. So he downloads the app. We take a couple pictures of him. We use a couple pictures on his phone too. And so we're like, what is this man's bio gonna be? It needs to be good. It needs to be eye-catching. It needs to get people to say, I want this man in my pants. So we come up with a great one for him. Plus-sized man looking for plus-sized woman and some plus-sized fun. Now, he did not want the plus-sized women. That was just a call that we made specifically. But, you know, after we had a few laughs over it, he gets a call from his dad. And he goes, hey, son, what's this Tinder app that just showed up on your mom's iPad?
No.
We need to have a talk when you get home. so the air in the room went from like pure like hysterical, you know, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is. It went from hysterical to somber very quickly. He's just like, oh, I fucked up. Meanwhile, the rest of us are still laughing at him because it's too funny not to talk about. We still bust him about that to this day. And that's it. That's the whole story. I just figured it's a good one, and I like telling that one.
That's wild.
Alright, speaking of Tinder, so like,
ooh, so Taka, you can give us the story, and then we'll that'll be capping it off for tonight.
So, like a week after I turned 18, like my friends were like, "You're the oldest one out of all of us. Make a Tinder," and I'm like, "For what?" It's like, because Tinder laid equals fun time. And I'm thinking, y'all are fucking stupid. Because I had a girlfriend at the time. And then they were like, who cares? It's not like you're going to do anything. I'm like, alright, fine. So then I make the Tinder. I make myself the most unattractive human being known to, like humanly kind.
Anti-catfishing, I love it.
Anti-catfishing, I post like the most emo picture of myself. And then it's just like a bunch of other stupid ass memes. Just,
I mean, the way that you look like doesn't sound like it's very hard.
It's not very hard, especially now that I have blue hair. Oh boy,
the long blue hair like an anime character.
Yeah, I'm the protagonist of one, and I don't like it. Anyway,
like Tyler Blevins.
Shut up! I'm not. No, not getting into this.
You're not a Fortnite god.
No, I'm not cracked.
I'm sorry. Continue.
My boy's single and cracked at Fortnite.
Yo, my boy Justin, he's single. Or no, I fucked it up. My boy Justin, he's taken. He's cracked at Fortnite, my guy.
So then it's just like, what was it? What was my fucking description? It was like, I hate my life and you should hate my life too. And then like at least like 23 serious people like messaged me and saying, are you okay? Do you need to talk about this? I'm like, no. I was like, I made this as a joke because I could care less about it. And they're like, why did you make it? It's like, because my friends pressured me into doing it. It's like, why do you listen to your friends? Because it's fun.
If your friends told you to jump off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge?
Yeah, of course I would.
Exactly. Peer pressure is a beautiful thing.
And then
it's all for the camaraderie.
Like at least like 6 of them were actually like, ha, funny meme. It's like, you're a pretty cool person. I'm like, alright, I guess I give them my snap. So then I still have them on my snap too. But the thing is, it's like they're just fucking stupid.
Right.
Like what? Like, how do people like go on Tinder thinking this guy needs mental help? Like, let's give him the help because he says he hates his life.
They just give you numbers for the mental health hotlines.
Bitches do be tripping.
Just go on the mental health hotline and just be like, welcome to Domino's, how can I take your order?
I'm sure that would make their day. Oh, and I think
make them want to call the hotline.
And I think that's about it for this episode.
I do have one more story about senior week.
Oh yeah?
This wasn't my story, unfortunately. But I know someone who went to senior week with a few of his friends, and when they were on the beach, they found a pufferfish. And it was all puffed up. So they had the good idea to wait until it was about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. And they go to the top of their balcony and throw it onto the street. Well, believe it or not, those fuckers make a loud sound when they go pop. And I'm pretty sure it set off some car alarms.
Yo!
A pufferfish?
A pufferfish!
A pufferfish.
You're kidding.
A fucking pufferfish.
Was there anything else inside that pufferfish?
I don't know. I don't think so, but boy, oh boy.
Or something.
I don't remember if the cops came or not.
Holy shit.
Like the second you mentioned the pufferfish being puffed up, my first instinct was to kick it like a soccer ball.
They didn't kick it, they just got it and launched it off their fucking balcony.
I thought get like a needle and like just poke it and see if it pops like a balloon.
Yeah, those suckers are poisonous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that ended.
I mean, so is my foot when it meets their fucking puffed up self, but like, bring out my Latino blood and bring out my inner Cristiano Ronaldo and just kick the pufferfish as hard as humanly possible.
And then you hear a big pop and you get some poison all over your foot.
And you run away.
And then you run away.
That's they did immediately close their doors and go to sleep because they were like, oh no, police.
Dumbass kids.
I have stories about running over the cops too, but that's for another day.
Yeah. We told a story about that on the last episode. I don't know if you listened to it yet or not, Taka.
Of course I have. I've listened to both.
Oh yeah, so you know what I'm talking about.
What a fucking guy.
Yeah, I think that about does it for this episode of the Friday Night Fallacy podcast. This is the longest episode we've gone so far. So
on a Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. On a fucking Friday night. Let's get a round of applause for that shit.
The shittiest round of applause I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was fucking terrible.
It's a big night of firsts.
We could edit it in. Slush can edit it in.
I could edit in very, very simple applause soundtrack I find on YouTube for free.
There confetti. You go. There you go.
I could do confetti too.